Well, good morning. Today is Friday, and it's a beautiful July day. It's cloudy. There are lots of baby pears growing on my pear tree, and baby plums beyond them, and tiny little sunflowers outside. We're a little bit behind the other seasons because we mostly have the cool coastal air, and my granddaughter and I have been doing lots of summertime art, which I always love. Actually, I love any moment I get to spend with the granddaughter. So back to World Watercolor Month. As part of my Watercolor a Day project, I signed up to do a prompt a day from World Watercolor Month for July, and the prompt for July 8th was tired. So I did 3 sleeping macaws, a green wing, a blue and gold, and a miniature called a red belly. And the prompt for the 9th was very appropriate because the 9th of July is my birthday and the prompt was home. So I painted a portrait of my house on the edge of the redwood forest. Used to be a logging camp here, and 2 of the cabins were put together and then added on to create the termite-eaten old house I live in now. And I still love it. Then the next word on the 10th was turtle for World Watercolor Month. And I've only ever seen sea turtles in aquariums. They don't actually crawl up on the beaches here on the Pacific, but I love them. So I tried my best. And somebody told me the word for a bunch of turtle eggs in the sand is a boil, which makes sense because it kind of boils open. And then the next word was spicy, and it somehow made me think of that good little devil from the cartoons that kind of went with Wendy the Good Little Witch and Casper the Friendly Ghost. So I did hot stuff. In the original comic book cover I saw, he was smoking, but instead of the smoke coming out of his mouth, I made flaming hot Cheetos and the smoke's coming out of his ears. And the next word was rumble. And I thought about street fights and the rumble of lots of different things, but it's hard to draw a noise. So finally I went for the rumble of thunder and drew a lot of lightning over the hills. And I tried to do mammatus clouds, but the paper was really wet, so the hanging breasts in a mammatus cloud kind of blurred a bit, but I like it. Then the next word was cavern, and I tried to give the impression of the cave being really, really dark, except the parts that were lit up for the tour. And this is a place in Oregon caves that's called the Ghost Room, and it's enormous, which maybe my tiny little stick figures give a sense of how enormous that is. And then the granddaughter and I went up to Bandon, Oregon to participate in something called Circles in the Sand on Face Rock Beach, where they have people rake a large labyrinth in the sand, and then you get to walk along it. And they give you a little crystal to hold on to, and you try to meditate and think beautiful thoughts while you're in a very beautiful location. And while my granddaughter was standing looking at a heart surrounded by crystals, some beams of light broke through and focused right on the heart, which I thought was pretty cool. And that was the 14th. Then the word was dusty for the 15th. And Dusty was my favorite dog, a Portuguese podingo that I had as my best friend when I was about the same age my granddaughter is now, somewhere in 4th, 5th, 6th grade. And after Dusty, there was Geode. And that brings us up to, I didn't paint the picture for a chair. I just reused a picture that I had done earlier for the 17th, and today's picture is rigid and I haven't painted it yet. So I'm gonna shut this down. Hope you're having a good summer too. Bye.